Amen.
When we think about this calling that is put on us as we step into Christianity, as we step into this new life that God has given us, it's very intimidating. When we think about what's at stake, when we think about souls on the line. I want to read Isaiah chapter 6. Verse 1 says, "In the year that King Uzziah died, I saw the Lord seated on a high and lofty throne, and the hem of his robe filled the temple. Seraphim were standing above him. They each had 6 wings, and with 2 they covered their face, with 2 they covered their feet, and with 2 they flew. And one called to another, 'Holy, holy, holy is the Lord of armies. His glory fills the whole earth.' The foundations of the doorway shook at the sound of their voices, and the temple was filled with smoke." This intimidation sets in, and honestly, it's extremely easy for us to focus on the fears and where we fall short when it comes to preaching the gospel, when it comes to this calling of what it means to be a Christian. The problem, though, is that we focus on this fear. The problem is our perspective in this. Because to be honest with you, it's hard to focus on this fear and our shortcomings when we dwell and bask in the majestic presence of God. Verse 5 is Isaiah's response as he's in this temple, the throne room of God, seeing all of this and the details of God's glory. Verse 5 says, "Then I said, 'Woe is me, for I am ruined, because I am a man of unclean lips, and live among the people of unclean lips, and because my eyes have seen the King, the Lord of armies.'" When our perspective shifts, when we're not looking at our own fears and our own shortcomings, things change. When we stop depending on our power, and kneel before the mighty throne of God, He graciously and fully equips us to be gospel preachers and instruments in God's redemptive plan here on earth right now. Right now. And because of God's graciousness, Jesus came down, died on the cross. And because of that, we were forgiven. This verse goes on to talk about how Isaiah was cleansed. He was cleansed, and because of that, he was able to be in God's glory. He was able to talk to God and say, "Here I am." Because of Jesus, we now are able to receive the Spirit of God dwelling within us. And because of that, our fears, everything that we think is up to us when it comes to preaching the gospel, should be wiped away. Because we should be focusing on the amazing, never-ending, miraculous power that God possesses, that he has equipped us with. That same Spirit, his Spirit, dwells in us. And when we focus on that and think about that and dwell in this throne room of God, that fear should be gone. It can't be there. We should feel ruined. But then God's grace comes and picks us back up. We're equipped. We're equipped by God's Spirit. And thank God it's not from us, because our power is nothing.